The Chuck Banks Experience is brought to you by Coaching Culture and Athletics. Coaching Culture and Athletics was created several years ago by myself and a few coaches to shoot out the negativity that's fostered in sports. So what I figured is, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to bring the Chuck Banks Experience to a whole new level, to a whole new listening department, and just fire it away. Sit back and enjoy the ride, folks, because we're going to just let it go. The Chuck Banks Experience, a Dog Pound radio affiliate, also within Coaching Culture in Athletics. We are sponsored by Turn 2 Workshop, Stan Schmidt. Check it out on Facebook, Turn 2 Workshop today. And if you would like to be a guest, give us insight, foster a better planet, well, email us, coachingcultureandathletics@gmail.com. That's coachingcultureandathletics@gmail.com. So here we go. Here's Jackie. All right, Coach, we're at week 0, which seems absolutely crazy. The boys are going to be going up to Minneapolis, to tomorrow night, and Thursday night. Man, it's starting to feel for real.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it goes once it starts going, if that makes any sense. A couple weeks ago, it felt like we had forever, and now here we are.
Yeah, and just you kind of knew it last night when you were handing out, kind of finalizing rosters, and we've been putting together those rosters and things like that, and I tell you what, I have to give a shout out to those young guys, man. Defensive practice was phenomenal 2 nights ago, and last night hearing our OC make those comments, that's got to be exciting for you as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think they're a really talented group, and we've had talented groups, but trying to navigate the culture right away is oftentimes kind of a hard thing for them, just because it's newer. There's higher expectations. There's more going on, but these guys have seemed to jump in a lot faster than most groups. So that's exciting. And hopefully we can get some more of them. I know that there's some of them out there that still kind of in that middle school mindset of, hey, football starts on the first day of school. Well, we've been going for a while now. We actually have a scrimmage on the first day of school. So welcome to high school.
Yeah, 100%. Now, it's got to be exciting, Coach, to not only have our team on the field, but also to look down and see our junior high coaches practicing kind of at the same time, as well as seeing this 5th and 6th grade, show up afterward. What kind of what kind of tone or a culture change? And I mean, it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, we love it. I mean, it is awesome. I look back to camp week where we had our stuff going on. We were in our first week of practice, and we had different camps going on. Then we had our YSF tackle football tryouts going on, and it was just like, man, tons of football going on here. This is great. And now it's just it's every night of our lives, right? Like we were over there with the high schoolers, and man, you hear those middle schoolers ripping off some Hound Jacks, a lot of those kids over there. So it was really loud, and then we're finishing up our practice, and you see the young guys come rolling in, and they're ready to get after their practice. So really exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what type of advice would you give to the parents at all grade levels right now, especially as a head coach that really preaches family? And we live in such a crazy, crazy world where travel ball, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what kind of advice are you going to give to your parents of all the players? And we'll just say 5th grade on.
One, and I'm a step parent, but enjoy it. And like, I guess my thing is with that, your kids have coaches for a reason, and I live by that. So all 3 of my stepsons played for me at some point, but Cade's the one that kind of sticks out in my mind. I would leave practice and drive wherever they were playing and watch him play a football game, and oftentimes he would ride home with us, and he would always, ask coaching questions. Hey, what do I need to do better? And my thing with him was, I'm not going to coach you, man. I'm just going to enjoy watching you play. And so even when he was our starter on varsity, I never once coached him. That wasn't my job. He had a position coach, and I trust the coach. So we didn't talk a lot of football at home. I think kids just want supported. They get coached really hard by their coaches. They just need that support system, especially if things aren't going well, and that was a lot of Cade's stuff. When things weren't going well, hey, what am I doing wrong? Man, you just keep putting the effort in, and we just really love watching you play. And that was kind of my saying to him all the time. How did I do tonight? Hey, I just loved watching you play. And that's the truth of it.
100%. Now, I saw a quote that really stuck with me a couple years ago, and it was about this grandpa that would pick up his kid after a sporting activity, and he'd say, "Hey, man, I love watching you play. Let's go get an ice cream cone."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's I think that those are the memories, right? Like, we want our kids to be successful, and we want to win. We love that type of stuff, but in the end, what's it about? It's about the memories, and so going to get an ice cream cone after every game, that would be kind of a cool thing. It doesn't matter wins or losses. In the large scheme of life, it's all the life lessons that we learned and the memories that we make. So, that's actually a really cool story. Like that's what the person remembers, right? I'm sure they have some details of the games, but they really remember going out and getting a ice cream cone with their grandfather after a game.
100%.
What a memory.
Now, you have to give a shout out to the Mitch Doherty because something happened this week.
Yeah. My dad just celebrated a birthday. So, when I posted the Superman saying, that's my Superman. I believe that man is faster than a speeding bullet and stronger than a locomotive, all that stuff. But, yeah, my dad is, really, he's the guy that what I was just talking about. My dad was a highly competitive guy in high school, and he competed in college. He didn't really coach me. If I asked him questions and I needed some help, hey, yeah, for sure. But he was there in the stands. He never badmouthed my coaches. I don't know where he stood on some of his opinions of what was going on. And I'm so thankful for that, to be quite honest. Like, he allowed me to navigate through my athletic experience, and he didn't intervene and make it his or try to live vicariously through me. And as a grown man who's still involved in sports, I cannot thank him enough. And my mother too. My mother is fantastic. She's a fireball, very competitive. And if I wasn't doing my best, she let me know it. But again, she didn't try to coach me and tell me, you need to do this, you need to do that. It was, hey, you can do better. And, I love those two for that.
She ever give you the wooden spoon?
Oh, buddy.
Okay. So we'll just leave it at that because we don't want this, right? Shots fired. Okay. So anyway, hey, let's get into the nitty gritty here, man.
Yes,
Mediapolis, it gives us an opportunity to put on the pads, lace up the shoes. What are you hoping to learn from this particular scrimmage?
Yeah, we're looking to compete. That's all we can do. We want to control the controllables. All those things that I don't know, maybe are cliche sayings to some people, but like in our program, that we prioritize those. We know Mediapolis is going to be a really well coached team. Coach Borison and staff, they're phenomenal. They've been doing this for a long time, so their kids are going to be disciplined. They just have a really great football program, and we're thankful for that partnership because that's a great look week 0. And but at the end of the day, football is about us, doing what we do. And if we do what we do, we'll obviously come back and look at the tape and see what things maybe we need to do a little bit better or change. That's coaching. So really glad that we can have this scrimmage with such a quality opponent, and excited to get out there and just see our guys compete because we're raw. If anybody follows Fort Madison football, they know we graduated a really good class, and we've got some young kids that are ready to step up and they're ready for their turn, and we're excited about that because we've done it before where we've had to replace some really quality kids, and that's what a program does. So we're excited to see these guys take their turn, and we know that they're going to give us effort, attitude, and toughness. They're going to go out there and give it their all.
Well, I'm really excited to run the wishbone triple option, Coach. It's really exciting to watch that, being put into effect.
Smash mouth. Yeah. Now, wishbone's some good stuff. And you know what? We've got some formations that are going to put us in some different positions. So, yeah, I mean, might see a few different looks out of Fort Madison football.
Oh, that's awesome. Just as long as we get away with 13 guys out on the field at any one point. Now, but before we do shout outs, Coach, let everybody kind of know, a day in the life of, Derek Doherty right now. How many hours are you spending? I know what you're doing, thinking about it, but do you feel like you're a little bit more relaxed coming into is this year 7 or year 6?
This is year 6, yeah, okay. As a head coach.
Do you feel like you're coming in with a little bit more relaxed, or do you think that you're putting even more on yourself?
You know what? That's a really good question. Now I don't want to get too personal. Last year I went through some really tough times. Just the expectation was there, and I felt the heat, and we had such a great class, and I put a lot on my shoulders. Like I didn't want to let those kids down, and if we underachieved, I would take that personally, and so I kind of drove myself crazy, to be honest with you, last year, and this year kind of reevaluated how I was living last year with that, like how I was handling things, and I'm hoping I'm better, but I've got just such a phenomenal staff, and I'm talking coaching staff, and I'm talking support staff with my family, and specifically my wife. My wife is, no offense to any of my assistant coaches, but she's my best assistant coach, because she puts up with a lot of the stuff that
she puts up with your shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
And I try really hard not to come home in a upset mood, and not that I'm really upset when I leave, because I love football. I love our guys, and even if we have a bad practice, it's better than not having a practice. So, but she sees my stresses, and so I definitely have to give her a lot of credit for just everything inside of Fort Madison football. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm always going to put pressure on myself. I'm always going to have high expectations and high standards, and that's just who I am, and I'm never going to get away from that, and that's okay. I believe in those things.
Well, I will tell the listeners that, man, I go out there and we start coaching, and I don't even look at my watch, and it's the first time in a long, long time in my 25 plus years coaching football, Coach Doherty, that that the excitement's really back, and I appreciate you bringing me on. Now, let's talk about the kids. Number one, let's talk about who really stood out this week. Other than that great kicker, and I'm going to interview Henry Graham here this evening. I'm telling you what, man, that kid's got a D1 leg.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a weapon, and he's a kid that, I agree with you. I mean, he could get some looks if he decides to go and kick at the next level, and he's already got some interest, and that's really cool. I mean, he's probably a soccer first kid, but credit to him for putting himself in a position, taking a risk, as we say in our program, a positive risk, and being the man in the arena. He wants to be a part of it. And, we love kids like that aren't afraid to do, hard things. And there's a lot of great athletes around here. And if we can start getting those kids to do more, I really think that all of our programs will rise. And that's one thing that I'm proud of for guys like Henry Graham, and we can go through a whole list of people that are 2-3 sport athletes. And you look at I don't want to put them on a pedestal, but they deserve it. Williamsburg, those same kids that came here and spanked us in football were the same kids that came here and beat us in basketball twice, and they were out winning state medals out at track, and you find out that some of them are a heck of a baseball player too, and so athletes are athletes, and in a school in an area like this, that's what you need. And you look at all the studs in the area. I do my research, and majority of them are playing 2-3 sports. So
100%. Now, Scout Team Player of the Week, man. We probably got a lot we could roll with, but let's go with one.
Yeah. So it's on my brain. Eric Cornelis, he played quarterback last night.
Looked like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh man, he was doing some funny things. I mean, he keeps things light, but he was actually running the offense really, really well. He's not a quarterback, and he said, "Coach, I got you. I'll play quarterback." And he was doing some some play actions, just stuff that we were preparing for, and he was dropping some balls in there on our defense, and he was having a good time doing it. And I think the defense was getting a little bit frustrated with him because he ended up on the ground a few times, and he jumped up smiling, laughing, and he enjoyed every second of it.
It's just watching Bretta Cashman take him down. Now, I've got a different person this week, Raynard Johnson.
Great choice.
I have to throw him out there. You want to talk about a kid that's hungry. You want to talk about a kid that's doing the right things, and he definitely gave us some great looks this week.
Absolutely. I mean, a great choice there, Coach. Rayner he's a program kid. He's going to do anything that you ask him to, and that's what I love. He'll be like, "Hey, Coach, what do you think I should do? Hey, what do you want to do? Whatever you want me to do." And as a coach, you just got to love those guys, right? Because some of them, some kids, they've got their mind made up, and if I can't do this and I'm not going to do anything, me personally, I love a team first guy because 100%. I think those people are going to be really successful in life, and Rayner's going to be one of those guys.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for being a part of this segment. We'll be back for week 1 next week, but Roll Hounds, baby.
Yes, sir. Roll Hounds.
Coming soon, the Logan Doty and the kicker. We'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Tell everybody what year you're in.
Well, with all my volunteer years and assistants and head coaching, this is year 35.
35. I hit this is 26 for me, so okay, 35 nice. Is awesome. Now.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are preseason ranked.
Boys are veterans. They've been together. They got a strong junior class, and they've got 3 strong seniors. So those guys kind of moved up. In 7th and 8th grade, they chummed up. They were pretty buddy, and they pretty much they work hard. They train together and they laugh together, and we're going to be competitive for sure.
You got any newcomers coming in that's going to push?
Well, for sure. We have nobody new. We have Jacob Walker and Noah Shinstock that are for sure going to be ready in the event that we have someone go down, because they're freshmen, but they're tough. And I think before the season's end, they're going to challenge for a 6th or a 7th spot. So we run 7 at the varsity level. So
yep. We're looking at here. Who do you see that's really standing out for you that you're really going to lean on this year?
Well, it's pretty hard to. We rotate that number 1 spot pretty much with 3 or 4 kids every year. But, at the end of the year, the last couple seasons, it's been Jacob Schottenkirk. He seems to rise to the occasion when things get tough. So, for sure, I look to him to do it again. But I don't think Nolan and Mason and, Riley, they're just going to sit around and watch him do it. So he'll have his hands full just with his own teammates.
When, kind of looking ahead, or do you have a meet next week, or are we looking at, is it 2 a week? Is that where you're normally at?
We've tried to get to 1 a week, and that's where we're at right now. There are some times early on where we run twice in a 5-day or a 6-day period, but that only happens once. So pretty much we're 1 race a week, which is the way we like it. Because it's just like in football, we don't take the hits and all of the hits that they take, but we run a 5K a week, and it's tough as well. So
100%. Now I have to give you a hard time about driving that thing around, following at him. Do you honk at him?
Well, I know I don't follow him.
I'm just messing.
No, I've been blessed. I've got Jordan, my roadie here, has been with us for going on 4 or 5 years now, and she was state qualifying high jumper and a state qualifier in cross country as well. So she knows the ropes, and she can tell it to the kids just like it is. And then Hyro Scruggs, he's been around forever. He's been around and helped Tim Lamb back in the day, and he's seen all the good runners that have come through Fort Madison in his tenure here. So we're blessed to have him as well. He's volunteer, so but his commitment to us is really valuable.
Absolutely. How many kids do you have out this year?
Well, we are a 7 through 12 program, so we're at about 20 high schoolers right now, and we're about 10, 12 middle schoolers. So that we hope for that to change a little bit. Once school starts and middle schoolers come in, they don't necessarily have the ability to get here in the summer and do what some of these kids who are local can do. But so we look to have, we're hoping for, 35 to 40 kids. Yeah.
And not only, the cross country and the track, but man, you're kind of the voice when it comes to basketball, right?
No, wrestling.
Oh, the wrestling.
I've been. I think I was here for all of Ryan Smith's tenure. It's a blessing. It makes me be here to watch my kids that wrestle, and it makes me be here to support another sport that I might be home if I didn't have a reason to be here. It's hard to get to everything, but that wrestling announcing makes it so that I am here, and I feel good about it.
Well, I'll tell you, as a new coach, this is my second year. I see the hard work you're doing, man. It does not go unnoticed.
Well, appreciate it. Well, the kids are the ones who do the work. We are the big cheerleaders. We are their support, and we're here for them. But in the end, it's those football players that take the hits and throw the balls, and it's the kids that run the races. So we're looking forward to fall sports. Kelly and the volleyball, and of course, Derek in football, for all the fall sports to have some success.
All right, roll Hounds.
Hey, go Hounds.
Hey, next up, Henry Graham, kicker extraordinaire. I think I called you a badass tonight a couple of times, but for good reason. How far was that last field goal attempt?
Last field goal, 50.
50 yards?
50
yards. And it went through.
It went through?
Holy cow. So let's talk about a little bit about, football-wise. I know you're also a soccer guy?
Yep, yeah.
Okay. What made you come out for football? I'm sure glad you did, because you have quite the leg.
I appreciate that. And I was just, I was playing soccer. My dad has always been big on football, and he wanted me to play. So I've always liked soccer. That's been my first sport. So I figured I'd go out for football, and I'd try kicker. And my first outing, I did pretty well. So I figured that's what I'd stick with.
Yeah, 100%. Now, what I like is you get a hat trick every time it goes through the upright. See?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, absolutely. So you're still open to where you're going to go and kick at the next level, but you're interested in that.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm just seeing, I'm weighing out my options. If I can go to like JUCO, D2, D3, I'm open to that. If I perform well, go to another bigger school. It's whatever works with me.
And the NIL, I don't have quite the money yet on Dog Pound Radio, but I guarantee you, man, if we can get some NIL money, that would be fun. Do you see how much some of these guys are making?
Crazy.
Okay, Arch Manning, do you know how much he's raking in each year?
I don't know.
$5.5 million.
You serious?
Yes. Caitlin Clark last year made $1.2 million. So I'm here to tell you, Graham is the real deal, and you can do it. Now, what's been your greatest memory thus far in football?
This far, I can't really say anything definitive yet. I've had good moments, but nothing where I'm really like, this sticks out to me. This is my big moment. I think that's to come this year, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. Would you say that I got good one-liners?
I'd say that. Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But we're not going to say that, because this is kind of my kid show. It's not the Chuck Banks Experience. It's Dog Pound Radio. Anyway, hey, if you were to look at some of the guys that are surrounding you, who do you see other than yourself that kind of taking that leadership or that ownership role?
Well, Marcus Guzman, he's a great leader. I see him talking out there, bringing up our people. Justin Maitner, too. He's always bringing up the atmosphere.
All right. So what do you do other than soccer and football?
Those are my two sports right now. I used to do basketball, but I dropped it after my sophomore year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you, man, you're a badass, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate hearing that.
Yeah. Roll Hounds.
Roll Hounds.
All right, last interview of the night, I got Aaron Warchild Warner. That was your nickname in wrestling. Coming into your senior year, Aaron. You've obviously grown and advanced really hard. Share a few of the the things that you did to be the ultimate warrior to get to this point.
Yeah. So obviously, there's the opportunity that Doherty has been given for a while of AE, which is now Bloodhound Performance. And I've taken advantage of that as much as I can. And I really think that's the main drive of my success. And then there's also the open gyms that they provided throughout the summer and the football camps throughout the summer as well.
I do have to add FCA. I think FCA has also played a large role in who you are as a person. And I have to throw that out there. You did get accepted to UNI.
Yes, I did.
You going to play football there, D1?
It would be nice if I could get a walk-on there, but if I were to get a walk-on, I'd be trying out for wrestling instead of football, just because wrestling is the ultimate individual sport, but football is the ultimate team sport.
Absolutely. So, let everybody know, kind of how we're looking out there. I see it, but where do you see it from a player's perspective?
Out on the football field?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen the work that we've put in since the spring, and I've seen that we have a huge team in terms of trust with each other. In terms of number, it's not as big as what we had in the past, but we have so much trust with each other, and I truly do put 100% trust in Marcus Guzman and the linemen that I have aside next to me during the game. And I think that if we keep the fast-paced offense that Coach Musselman has planned for us, we will succeed in every game that we go to.
Well, I tell you, really technical. That's kind of what I see this year. Do you got any shout-outs to any up-and-coming guy that you see that's really putting in the work that might be following in an Aaron footstep?
Yes. There are four really that I really enjoy. I'd say Raynor Johnson, he's just an insane stud. As a sophomore, he's putting work in that is challenging a lot of the upperclassmen on scout team. And he's 100% attendance, if not close to it, for weightlifting and for football. Same thing with Cal. He's putting in effort that is very exceptional, especially for a sophomore as well. And he also has the size that makes it a challenge. Very similar to that, also Liam Pryor. He's a skills position, and he's not as he doesn't shine out as much as the first two that I said. But when he gets to his junior or senior year, he will be the number one wide receiver, if not close to it, out there on that field. He's just an insane worker. No one can outbeat him in the work that he does. And he just doesn't ever quit. And then there's Noah Van Newell, is how you pronounce it.
I think we call him, is it Sippy Cup?
Yeah, Sippy Cup, Kitten. He's just naturally talented. He's a huge guy, but he has athleticism that is really exceptional for how huge he is. And he's really impressive. I cannot wait to see him as a junior or senior. He's going to be putting up numbers that will be looking better than what Corey Arnett has in the past.
Phenomenal. Well, hey, I appreciate you, buddy. Roll Hounds. Good luck tomorrow night.
Sir. Thank you.